You have got 1 year to make it. This is the opportunity you have been waiting for. You only got one chance, only one try. Only you can make it happen. Nobody else can make it. Can you move mountains? Can you aim that high? The answer is simple yes. Do not screw up. With this positive thought, a very good morning to all my dear students. I hope you all are doing well. I, Shreya Jadhav, welcome you all to my e-learning channel. And today we are going to learn English grammar section, and that is active passive voice, part 1. Now, this grammar is really very easy to learn, but sometimes it becomes difficult for the students to score. So here this video will be really helpful to you to understand the basic rules and regulations of the topic, and I hope that your concept becomes clear with active and passive voice. This concept and topic is included from 5th standard to 12th standard to PG level. So this is going to be really very helpful to you. So let us begin. Now basically when we start active and passive voice, or whether we start any grammar, what is the first thing which you are supposed to remember is how a sentence is usually formed. Yes, a sentence is formed by subject, verb and object. This is how a sentence formation is being done. This is how a grammar structure or a grammatical structure of sentence could be derived. So over here you can see we have subject plus verb plus object. So over here one example is given. Lata sings lovely songs. So you can see over here that Lata becomes a subject. Now what do you mean by subject? Subject means name of person, place, animal or thing. It is considered as a subject. Now subject could be noun as well as pronoun. He, she, it can also be called as subject. So subject includes nouns and pronouns. Nouns means name of person, place, animal or thing. Pronouns includes he, she, it, they, we, us, etc. Now the next one, that is verb. Now you can clearly see over here that sings. This word is being highlighted in red. Now what do you understand by verb, or what is the definition of verb? Action doing words are considered as verb. So over here the action of singing is being done. So this is called verb. The action words are known as verbs. For example, singing, eating, dancing, walking, sleeping. These all are the examples of verb. The next one is object. Now object means it relates to subject, or it is helping the subject to clarify more. So over here lovely song represents object. We can also say like this, that subject is considered as a doer and object could be considered as receiver. So now let us move ahead. Now let us understand the concept of active and passive voice. So as you can see over here, that over here a sentence has been written. Now what do you understand by active and passive, or why is it necessary? Active and passive, over here the sentence is being written in a different manner, but the meaning of the sentence should not change. It should remain as it is. That is considered as active and passive voice. So you can see over here a sentence has been written. Hari killed a snake. This is an active form. Why? Because hurry is the subject, killed becomes the verb, and snake becomes object. So you can see over here that Hari is a name of a person. So we can say that this is a subject. Killed, it signifies is the verb or action. So this will become verb. And snake becomes the object. Now, when you see this, the second statement, a snake was killed by Hari. Meaning of both the sentences are same. There is no change in the sentence. So you can see over here, snake becomes the subject, killed become verb, and Hari becomes object. So what you can understand over here is, in active voice, whatever the subject would be, it will change into object when we change into passive. And whatever is object in passive or in active form will be changed into the subject in the passive voice. So you can see over here that the positions of both have been interchanged. Yes, Hari, which is written as a subject or written at first an active sentence, that has been changed into a passive one and it becomes object. And over here, the snake, which is object in the active sentence, becomes the subject when we change into passive. Now, one more thing which you are supposed to remember is that whenever we change into passive form, by is compulsory to use. If you forget using by, then your sentence would be incorrect. It is necessary to put by. The tense over here is not supposed to be changed. Tense will remain as it is. The first sentence, killed, it is past tense, and if you observe the second sentence, was killed. So over here, this is also past tense only. This is not direct indirect where we are supposed to change tenses. In active passive, whatever tense is given to you, you are supposed to change in that very same tense only. So now let us move ahead and let us go through the key points. The points which you are supposed to remember whenever you are changing from active to passive. So the first point is, subject in active voice becomes the object in passive voice. We have seen in the previous one that how Hari was the subject over there. When it changed into passive form, it became object. So the subject in active voice becomes the object in passive voice. The second point is, object in active voice becomes the subject in passive voice. So in the previous sentence we have seen that a snake was object in active voice. Now when we are changing it into a passive form, at that time a snake, which was written behind, from there we are supposed to start the sentence. So a snake becomes the subject. The passive contains past participle, that is verb's third form. In verb we have three form: verb 1, verb 2, verb 3 of the main verb. So here verb first form means the main form, verb 2 indicates the past form, and verb 3 it means past participle. So whenever we are supposed to change it in passive voice, always remember that we are supposed to make past participle of the main verb. Over here, the subject of active voice is made the object of some preposition, generally by. So I have told you that whenever we change in passive, we are supposed to think, or we are supposed to consider, or is it compulsory that we are supposed to put by whenever we change in passive form. The next point, some forms of the verb to be could be changed in am, is, are, was, were, being or been according to the tense. Now remember, am, is, are is used for present tense, was, were is used for past tense, and being and been are used for perfect tenses. Being is used for continuous and been is used for perfect tense. And the most important point and the last point is the tense of the verb does not change. Means if the question is in past form, the answer would also be in past form. If the active voice is in present tense, then the passive form would be also in present tense only. Now let us move ahead. So this is a tense chart of passive voice. And over here the verb write is being taken into consideration. So you can see that whenever we make simple present tense, which things we are supposed to consider? The to be form, that is, am and are, we are supposed to use, and verb third form is supposed to be written. So over here it will be is written, are written. Now we take into consideration present continuous, then there will be an addition. Now remember, continuous means the action is going on. That action is going on. So remember, we are supposed to add ing in there. So it will be is being written, are being written. Present perfect tense, it means over here has, had plus been plus verb's third form is supposed to be written. So this would be has been written, have been written. In the similar way, with simple past tense, we are supposed to use was, were plus verb's third form. So this will be was written, were written. Now when we take into consideration past continuous tense, we are supposed to take was, were plus being plus verb's third form. So over here being indicates a continuous form. ing we are supposed to remember. So this will be was being written, were being written. And in past perfect tense, had plus been plus verb's third form. So this will be had been written. Now simple future tense. So in future tense we usually put will or shall. Either of one you can use. It is not compulsory to use both, one of it according to the sentence. So will, shall plus be plus verb's third form. So over here will be written, shall be written. We do not have future continuous tense for passive voice. Then we have future perfect tense. So that is will, shall plus have plus been plus verb's third form. So this will be will have been written, shall have been written. So now let us move ahead. The next one is pronouns. So whenever the sentence is in active form, when you change it in passive, what you are supposed to take into consideration? These given pronouns will change. So here I becomes me, we becomes us, he becomes him, she becomes her, they remains they changes into them, you changes into you, and it remains it. So over here the table is given over here. You and it will remain same. There will be no changes over there. So now the change of voice in the tenses. Now total there are 12 tenses that you all know, that you might have learned in your previous classes and grades also. But when you change in voice, in passive voice, at that time only 8 tenses are used. So the tenses are listed below: simple present tense, simple past tense, simple future tense, present continuous tense, past continuous tense, present perfect tense, past perfect tense, future perfect tense. So these 8 tenses you are supposed to remember that only these 8 could be changed in passive form. Apart from that, the 4 tenses which are future continuous, present perfect continuous, past perfect continuous and future perfect continuous have no passive forms. So total there are 12 tenses, but out of that only 8 could be changed in passive form. So now we are going to do all the 8 tenses. I'll be giving you the rules for it and how we are supposed to change. Along with the example, a detailed explanation is given. So now let us study active and passive voice constructions tense wise. So the first one, that is a simple present tense. So here you can see simple present tense. Now in the table I have divided it in 2 portions. The first one is active part, the second one is passive part. And over here which changes you are supposed to do is also mentioned. Now in active form, verbs first form or main form is used. Either it is in singular form or it is in plural form. Do, does could be there with verbs first form. And when we change it into passive form, you will be using am, is, are plus verbs third form. Means past participle you will be using. So the first one over here is I write a letter. So I becomes subject, write becomes verb, letter becomes object. So when we change into passive, the object will become subject. So the sentence will be a letter is written by me. The second one is she does not like me. So over here in the passive form it will be I am not liked by her. So if you observe in passive form we are putting by. Does she teach you music? So the passive form would be are you taught music by her? Now always remember one thing. If the question is in active form, then the answer would also be in that manner only. This over here it is in interrogative form being used. The active one is in interrogative. So the passive one would be the same. You can see in the third sentence we have question mark behind. So you are also supposed to remember this thing. The next one is do you like such films? So we will be asking, or the passive form would be in interrogative only. That is, are such films liked by you? Now why are we have used over here? Because films is plural. So this will be are. If it was singular, then we would be using is. As it is plural, it will become are. The fifth one is people speak English all over the world. So over here, English is spoken all over the world by people. So you can see over here how the construction of the sentences are being made. Now let us move to the second one. Simple past tense. Now you can see over here that the active form contains verbs second form. That is past form. Then we have did plus verbs first form. And in passive one we have was, were plus verbs third form. So you can see over here, I kept my promise. So my promise, we are supposed to start from there, the sentence. My promise was kept by me. Now, why was? Because it is singular. The second one is, she spoke the truth. So we are supposed to start, truth was spoken by her. Spoke is the second form of the verb. Over here, spoken is the past participle or verb's third form. The next one is, we did not tell a lie. Now here you can see a lie becomes the subject. A lie was not told by us. Remember children, you are supposed to put by whenever you change in passive. It is necessary. The next one is, did you break my slate? Was my slate broken by you? Why was? Because it is singular and slate is only one. So we are using was. The last one is, who painted the walls? By whom were the walls painted? Now remember one thing. Now you can see the difference over here. We have used by first because it is a rule that whenever we change or the question is in who, we change in whom. But that would be an incomplete question. So first we are supposed to use by whom so that it conveys a complete meaning. The next one is simple future tense. So over here in active form you can see that in future tense we use will shall plus verbs first form, and in passive one we use will shall plus be plus verbs third form. So the example is, I shall buy a car. A car will be bought by me. The next one is, he will not tease you. You will not be teased by him. Will you help me? Shall I be helped by you? When will you return my book? When will my book be returned by you? Who will take his place? By whom will his place be taken? Now if you observe over here, this is very easy, that the object becomes the subject when we change in passive. Moreover to that, we are supposed to change the verb, that we are supposed to use the third form. Over here in the first sentence you can see by changes into bought, tease changes into teased, help into helped, return into returned, take into taken. So you have observed over here, and by is compulsory to use. The next one is present continuous tense. So over here you can see that how we have used the formation M is R plus verbs first form plus ing. Always remember, in continuous tense ing is used. So I am singing a song. So a song is being sung by me. So here in the sentence you can see that how singing changed into sung and we have added being. So this will become a continuous tense. The remaining sentences are, they are watching the play. The play is being watched by them. Why is? Because play is singular. The next one is, are you cleaning your teeth? Now are means it is plural. So the sentence or the passive form would also be starting with the plural form only. Are your teeth being cleaned by you? Who is driving a car? By whom is a car being driven? The next one is, what are you looking for? What is being looked for by you? The next one, that is fifth one, past continuous tense. So the active form would be was, were plus verbs first form, and in the passive one we will be putting was, were plus being plus verbs third form, that is past participle. So the first example over here is, she was plucking flowers. Flowers were. Why were? Because it is plural. Flowers were being plucked by her. The second one is I was not drawing a map. A map was not being drawn by me. Third one is the doctor was examining her. She was being examined by the doctor. Were you boiling eggs? Were eggs being boiled by you? What was he doing there? What was being done by him there? So over here you can see that if it is singular we use was, if it is plural we use were, and as it is a continuous tense we use being, and verb's third form past participle is supposed to be used. The next one is present perfect tense. So here we have in active form we have has, have plus verb's third form, and in the passive when we change we are supposed to add has, have plus been plus verb's third form. So I have sold my car. Now already over here the verb is in third form, so we are not supposed to change the verb. What we are supposed to do is we are supposed to add been over here. This is so simple, yes? I have sold my old car. My old car has been sold by me. Next one is she has not informed me. I have not been informed by her. The next is have they won the match? So over here it changes into has the match been won by them. The fourth one is the police had arrested the thief. So here it will become the thief has been arrested by the police. The next one is has he solved the sum? It changes into has the sum been solved by him. So you can observe over here how the sentences changes. Remember you are supposed to put been and verbs third form. The second last one is the seventh one, past perfect tense. So over here it will be had plus verbs third form in active side. When we change it into passive it will be had plus been plus verbs third form. So the example is I had already seen the movie. Now when we change it into passive, the movie had already been seen by me. So the movie becomes the subject, had because it is past tense, already been. Why been? Because it is a perfect tense, seen by me. The second one is she had never visited a zoo before. A zoo had never been visited by her before. Third sentence, why had you not attended the seats before? Why had the seats not been taken by you before? So you can see over here, if the active sentence is an interrogative, then the passive one would remain same. We are not supposed to change it. The next one is they had already defeated the enemy. The enemy had already been defeated by them. She had not washed the clothes before you came. So over here the clothes had not been washed by her before you came. You can put you came, or otherwise it is accepted universally that it is been said to a person. So it is not compulsory over here to write down you came. So over here for past perfect tense, remember we are supposed to just add been over here, because in active form already had plus verbs third form will be given. As you have seen over here that in first sentence we have seen, in second one we have visited, in third one we have taken, fourth one we have defeated, and fifth one we have washed. Already all these verbs are in third form, so we are not supposed to make any changes over there while changing into passive. And the last one is future perfect tense. So over here the active form will be will, shall plus have plus verbs third form, and in the passive one we will be having will, shall plus have plus been plus verbs third form. So over here we'll be having I shall have finished the job by now. So when we change into passive, it will be the job will have been finished by me by now. Clear? So over here twice the by is used. Why? Because one time it is already given in the question, and second time because it is the rule. The second sentence, she will not have paid her school dues. Her school dues will not have been paid by her. Third one is they will have missed the train. The train will have been missed by them. The fourth one, when will you have submitted the report? When will the report have been submitted by you? Now you can see the fourth sentence is in interrogative. So the passive form would also be same. Active form, it is being started up with when. In passive also we are supposed to use when. The last sentence, that is will Raman have cleared the debts? The passive form will be will the debt have been cleared by Raman. So over here this is the explanation of the 8 tenses which are being used in active and passive form. I hope you all have understood. If you still find any doubt or any queries, you can comment down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.